Next candidate is going to be school committee member Ann Mahoney.
Thank you very much, Mark. Can everybody hear? No. You shut it off? All right. Is this better? Can you hear me now? Yeah. Well, thank you very much to the Merrymount Association for having the candidates night tonight. It's a very important night because it's an opportunity for all of you to meet all of the people who are putting their names on the ballot. And I thank all of those who are doing that. It's very brave to step up and put your name on the ballot. And it's something that I've believed in. I've been on the school committee for the last 12 years, for those of you who don't know that. I'm going to go back a little bit, though, just to let you know. I'm a Quincy resident. I was born and raised here in Quincy. I was a Mulligan before I was a Mahoney. And I told my husband a long time ago, the one house I want to live in is on Farrader Street in Quincy. It was my great-grandparents' house. It was built in 1890. I'm very proud to live in that house. We've raised 3 children in that house. 12 years ago, when I ran for school committee, it was because of something that's also bringing me to the Councillor-at-Large race. I realized when I asked questions, people would tell me, well, that's what you wanted. And they didn't ask me what I wanted, but yet I was being told, that's what I wanted. When talking to friends about this, we all had that same feeling that the city of Quincy doesn't very often ask us what we want. We're told what we're getting. Now, when my kids were little, I used to have a saying, you get what you get, but you don't get upset. Well, when you're a taxpayer of the city of Quincy, you're due more respect than that. You should know what you're getting for the taxes that you're paying. So for many of you, you've known me on the school committee, and you also know me as a candidate for mayor. My mother likes to say, and she is somebody who encouraged me to run for this office, I'm somebody who gets knocked down, but I get back up. And I get back up because I believe in the city. So when the opportunity came up, when Joe Finn decided not to run, I decided to get back up. And I got back up because I believe in the city, and I believe in everybody who's sitting out here tonight. But I had to really think. I know what I'm worried about. I know the things that I haven't been asked. But I decided to take it on the road, like I always do. I came to your doors. And I call it a journey across the city of Quincy to learn what your needs are. And when I'm at your doors, and I know there's a few of you here, I've been at your doors, I ask you, what is it that you're concerned about the city? What do you love about our city so that we can keep those things in our city? And what is it that you think we should be paying attention to so I can be your representative? Because I truly believe what we're missing at the council and in government is representation. And I want to be your representation at city council. So I've listened to people and I've taken that informal survey and I have learned what the city of Quincy is in need of. The city of Quincy, single-family homeowners, I'm going to start with you. You are feeling a pinch that we've never felt before. Our assessed values are going up, which is a good thing for being a homeowner. But at the same time, we're increasing your taxes and we're spending it quick. Now, people don't mind paying taxes, but they want to know where it's going to, and they don't feel like they know. Development, we have a lot of it in Quincy. There doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason to it, but it's a lot of it going on. And it's in every square inch of our city. And it's residential, but it's apartments. And people are worried. We're putting on all of these apartments. And right now, they're high expensive apartments. What is going to happen when the economy does turn, as we all know? Because we've been around. I've been around. I've seen the economy good, and I've seen the economy bad, and I know it's going to go back to being bad sometime, and we have to be prepared for that. But the biggest concern, taxes and that development, but it's also traffic. We can't get out of the city. We can't get into the city when we need to get into it, but we can't get out of the city when we need to get out of it. And some of us have to get to work, and it's a big concern. People have shared that at the doors. They've shared a lot of things at the doors. Those are the top 3. I have a top 25, but I won't go through them all with you tonight. But those are the top pain points that they have. And they're looking for somebody to represent them at that city council. So now I'll tell you why I can be that person to represent you. I've worked very hard in my career. Not only am I a mom of 3, and I am saying that is probably the hardest job I've ever had. I have 3 children, like I said. One who's a graduate of college, starting her first full-time job. She just finished a fellowship in New York. I'm very proud of her. My son's a junior in college. And my youngest one is 10th grade. canning at Atlas Liquor tonight for North Quincy High School soccer team. That's the hard job. But I also have a degree in finance. Earned that degree all by myself, working 3 jobs to pay for myself to go to college. And I've worked for the last 25 plus years, full time, as a mom, doing project management, marketing, and using that degree in finance. I'm responsible for large budgets for organizations and breaking down silos and making people work together. That is something we need on the city council. It only enhances our city if we ask questions and we push the button just a little bit to make sure that those projects that we're putting online are the right projects for the city of Quincy, that they're enhancing our neighborhoods, that they're aesthetically pleasing, and that we've made plans on how we're going to be able to move around our city. Questions like that need to be asked, and they need to be asked for you. When I was on the school committee, I asked those questions. When all of my colleagues were saying yes, every once in a while, I was saying no. And I was saying no because it wasn't right. I was one who said no to the superintendent's contract. Why? Because he didn't have a review. Everybody said he worked really hard. I agreed, but we have to review him. We have to review him because we have to review the teachers. And if those teachers are going to be held to a standard, we have to hold him to a standard too. And now we always review the superintendent. When it came to 4th graders in middle school, everybody said he was a superintendent. He's got his PhD. It's what we want. It's what they want. I said, no. We can't be putting 10-year-olds in 4th grade in middle school. It's wrong. And it's only one section of the city. We have to treat everybody the same way. And when it comes to our city council, we have to take that same initiative and not be afraid to push back. Because sometimes, I don't know about you, but in my house, not everybody's unanimous. You know, when it comes to dinner, not everybody's unanimous. But again, if I'm cooking, you get what you get. You don't get upset. But the reality is this. Pushback doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Every once in a while, when you push back, you get a better product. And we need to start pushing back in Quincy. And who do we need to start pushing back for? For the single-family taxpayers in the city of Quincy who are bearing the burden right now. We were promised with all this development it was going to be beneficial to us. The benefit has been traffic. We can't get out of the city. And we're talking about doing a traffic study. I think we might be late. But how can we fix it going forward? Well, we can start by electing Ann Mahoney to the city council, and we can start looking at how other communities are doing it right. I can tell you that in Salem, they're doing smart traffic. What does that mean? They're instituting a traffic, it's happening right now, where the lights are working with smart traffic initiatives so that you can move the people along. Right now, we don't have that. We don't even know how to move through the city because we're not sure how the lights actually work. Maybe we should have educated people on that before we put that in. We also have an MBTA that's going to be closing down. We're not sure when exactly, but that's going to be happening too. And we have not made those plans yet for how it's going to impact our neighborhoods. We need people to ask those questions so, again, we can survive in the city. We want the change, and change is hard. But if you do it correctly, it can make it a little bit easier for the people who live in the city of Quincy. What I also like to say is my day job is not in the city. I'm not beholden to anybody in the city of Quincy. And why is that important to you, the voters of the city of Quincy? It's important to you because when you elect people into your government, you want to make sure they're representing you. That there's no special interest anyplace else that they might be thinking about just for themselves or somebody else. You want to make sure they're thinking about you. They're taking care of you. They're making their individual choices for you. And when I can't make those individual choices for you, or when I can't get everybody else to work with me, not to worry. If it's something that's really important, and I'll know if it's really important because I've knocked at each and every one of your doors, I'll let you know. And I'll invite you to City Hall so that we can have a discussion together. That's how we build a strong community, by having buy-in to what's happening in our homes. In our homes, we do that. In our city, we have to treat it like it's our home. And we want it to stay as strong as it is. Because Quincy is a great city. And it has challenges. And it deserves to be treated with respect. And that respect is the people who you elect into office. And I'm going to respectfully ask for you to support me so I can go into that office and be your representative. I'm going to continue walking and knocking in the city of Quincy and listening to what people's needs are. And I'm always open to the conversation. If you need a flyer here tonight, I know my husband's walking around. He has my flyer. I tell people all the time, on the back of that flyer is my cell phone. You can call me. I return my calls. And people do call me. They call me all the time. And I do help them. And I want to help each and every one of you. And I want to be your representative. And I will be in that independent voice. And I promise to work very hard for you. So with that, I'll turn it over to Mark and let Mark ask me a few questions.
Thank you. So we have time for a question or two here. And this one comes from me. So our current president, not of the Association of the United States, campaigned on making America great again. So my question is, how do we make Quincy fun again? And let me unpack that. Quincy has some amazing historical sites. It has the coastline. It has the Blue Hills. It does not have entertainment and cultural options. I can't, in Quincy, go to a movie. I can't go to a concert. I can't go to a theater show. I can't go to play mini golf. I can't go to a brewery. I can't go to a distillery. All of that, I leave Quincy and I spend my tax dollars elsewhere. So what are your thoughts on that, and where would you put your energy and efforts, and how do you think that that could be increased for Quincy?
So thank you, Mark. So you touched upon something that's near and dear to my heart. I told you that I have a background in marketing, and we do need to market the city of Quincy. We do have beautiful coastlines, and we do have historic areas for us to go to. One of the things that we could do to bring economic development to the city is that ferry into Boston. We could get that ferry into Boston, be regular, and we could put our tourism over in Marina Bay. We could actually bring some tourists right here from Boston into Quincy and bring them around. And what that does is it drives the economy in the city of Quincy. And that economy is driven by the needs of what our residents are. And when we know what we want, we can go after it. So some of the things that you talked about, I believe we should already have. If we actually focused on some of those things for the downtown, we could already have some of those kid-friendly things that are happening in the downtown. Splash Park or something of that nature. But we don't, because we don't think about those things. We don't ask the constituents of the city of Quincy what it is we need. So we're not doing it. But we have to encourage those conversations and start actually doing those things so we can keep people here in the city of Quincy, spending their hard-earned dollars here in the city of Quincy, enhancing those restaurants by going to those restaurants, and keeping people here in the city of Quincy. I can't tell you how many people I see outside of the city of Quincy. And I market myself outside of the city of Quincy. I'm talking to people on the trains and the buses, you name it, I'm talking to you. At Wagmans and Westwood, at Whole Foods, at Darby Street. That's where our Quincy residents are. They're not shopping here. And you're saying yes to me. And I was told a long time ago we don't have those stores here in Quincy because we don't have the right demographics. Well, guess what? If we're marketing $2,500 to $3,500 apartments, we have the right demographics. And if we want to keep our young families here in Quincy, we better start actually managing the things that we have and start bringing those things in. So I think we need to market the city of Quincy. I think we have to let people know in businesses that we're a friendly city to work in. I'm going to just tell a quick story. When my husband and I ran our own business, we came to Quincy. This is back, my daughter's 22, so it would have been about 20 years ago. We were looking for a realtor. And they didn't know what we did. We were graphic designers. He was a graphic designer. And they were like, what is that? What's the web? I know, Mark, that's how old I am. They were worried about what we were doing. We weren't doing anything that people in Boston were doing. Now we're very excited. We have film houses in Quincy. We get excited about that. But we weren't really encouraged to come to Quincy because we weren't fitting the norm of what the businesses were. Well, we have to start inviting businesses to Quincy. We have a lot of storefronts that are empty. And the way we bring those storefronts in is we can create economic development by having garage to storefront business opportunities for those. And it will bring in some of those kid-friendly things. And I believe truly that we have to do that. Or young families like Mark, although he's on the ballot, will not be encouraged to stay here.
All right, thank you. So we're at 15 minutes. So let's give Ann a round of applause tonight.
Is that it?
That's it.